welcome to another video. Today's video is one that I've been thinking about doing for a wee while now, and I've kind of decided that moving into this year, at least for the time being, the aesthetic that I am looking to focus on is the Chanel aesthetic, which is why I just thought I'm going to start off with this video, and I might do like a little mini series on this. So I might do a part 2, or I might do kind of just more about Chanel. Yeah, I've just had this sort of inclination that this is the aesthetic and look and style that I want to go for this year. So I thought I would start out with a video, basically how to get the Chanel look. So I'm going to go through various characteristics of Chanel style, and I've got 5 looks that I've put together that I think have a real Chanel feel to them. Nothing in the video, apart from a couple of jewellery accessories, is actually from Chanel. These are all either Highstreet looks that are available or some couple of pieces that I've bought on Depop or Vinted. So I will do my best to link as much as I can, and if I do find any second-hand sellers selling the items, I will also link that as well. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Lesley. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you have watched my videos before, thank you so much for coming back and joining me again today. So I think what I will quickly just do is give a brief overview of what the Chanel style means to me, and then we'll just get straight into the outfits. So Chanel style, what do I mean by, you know, this Chanel look? And I think the main characteristics are the idea of Chanel is it's so very elegant, it's very chic, it's very put together, it's classic, it's timeless, it's feminine. It's all the things that I really love and things that I try and incorporate into my style, which is kind of why I've just thought for just now I would quite fancy focusing on a Chanel aesthetic. So that is kind of the idea that I have in mind, but I'm going to go through, as I said, specific characteristics that I think gives items the Chanel look, but I'm just going to move straight into our first outfit. So my first Chanel inspired look is this little cord here. So this is one that I purchased from Vinted. I do know that it's quite difficult to get. I think it was very popular. It's originally from H&M. They have a similar blazer at the minute, which I will link. But if you try it on Depop or Vinted, just keep searching. Eventually something will come up, because I bought both the pieces separately from Vinted. So I'm going to hold it close just so you can see. So the skirt is just tucked in there. I will pop it out in a second. So in this suit, I think you can instantly see that it just has a Chanel look to it. So I'm just going to briefly go through what I think gives it that Chanel look. So first of all, we have the contrast. So we see this a lot with Chanel, including this cardigan that I'm wearing, which was River Island last year. I think they brought out a white version, which might still be available. Again, I will link it if it is. So this contrast trim, we see this a lot with Chanel, and this is probably one of the easiest ways to get the Chanel look. Anything that doesn't actually have to be like black and another colour, just any 2 colours that contrast really has the Chanel look. The other thing is, of course, that it is tweed or boucle. It's this textured material, and that is, as we know, a very, very Chanel look. So with this we have the blazer. This is the blazer, as I've mentioned, and the matching skirt just here, which I loved because it has a little black trim at the bottom, which is just so extra. I love it. What I will say I'm going to try throughout this video is give options. If you think that this is maybe a little bit too much to put together, you could of course just wear the blazer, I think, with maybe black jeans or black leggings, or maybe like a plain black skirt if you didn't want to go all out. I am going to go all out. So I'm going to put this on and come back and see if there's any accessories we could add to just really complete the Chanel look. Okay, so here is the outfit put on. I'm just going to come in a wee bit closer just so you can see kind of the detailing. I've just popped on a very simple cream jumper underneath because I think it is actually slightly difficult to know what to put underneath. I actually think what could look nice is a black blouse with a bow maybe. I'm not sure if it would be too much. There's one that Zara did that I really wanted, but it sold out very fast. Something like that I think could look also quite chic, but this is just kind of keeping it simple. And then you have the matching skirt. So I think instantly you can see this is a very Chanel look. It's kind of a classic Chanel look, and I think anyone looking at it would think, you know, that is a Chanel look. I actually do have a sort of slightly funny story to say about this because I wore this recently in London and I had my black beret on, so I had gone to town on the look, and I came out the bathroom and this girl was like, "Oh my goodness, I love your suit," and I was like, "Thank you," and I said, "It's H&M," and she just was like and then I was just like, "It is," and then in my head I was like, I don't think she believes me. I honestly think she thought I was joking by saying, "Oh, it's H&M," but it actually is H&M. So if you can get your hands on this suit, I do really feel like this is just 100% the Chanel look that we're going for. Just to quickly touch on some accessories to go with this look. So I've still got on, I'm gonna just tip the camera up, the Chanel earrings that I wear so much. So these are from Chanel, obviously you can see, and I really do feel that these earrings have been worth the investment. I honestly wear them so much on YouTube, on Instagram. Whenever I'm going out, really, they are just my absolute go-to earring, particularly at the moment. I'm just wearing them so much. I absolutely love them. I feel like you can wear them during the day in an outfit like this, or you can also wear them with just like a simple dress. So if you are looking to add some of the more accessible Chanel pieces, I think one of the best places to start is to look at their costume jewellery sections. They have various pieces that, as I said, they're just more accessible. You're not talking thousands, you're talking maybe a few hundred, which of course is very expensive, but if this is the look that you're going for, I definitely think these little touches just add to the look. So that's these earrings, but I also wanted to show you a really budget-friendly alternative, which I actually picked up from Amazon. I'm not saying these are maybe the most hard-wearing earrings, but there's another pair that I've seen on Etsy that I think I might order as well. They just weren't going to arrive in time for this video, but I've ordered these from Amazon. So let me just hold this. So they're kind of that vintage pearl, kind of Chanel style earrings. So this is another thing that I am going to mention throughout this video is pearl. Pearl is definitely an easy way to add a Chanel element to your look. It's something that we see across in the Chanel costume jewellery. So these earrings, for example, have the dropped pearl. On some other outfits you see pearl, and yeah, various pieces of jewellery you see pearl added. So, and of course on the bags, I think it's again another simple way of adding a kind of Chanel aspect to your outfit. So I'm going to just remove this earring here and pop on this one just so you can see what it looks like on, but I think it goes really well with this outfit and it's giving me kind of Jackie O vibes. Also the look that Ariana Grande wears in her which video is it? Positions video. So they're actually a little clip-on earring. So that's what I mean by I'm not sure how long-term kind of durable they are, but they definitely have that kind of like old-timey, old money aesthetic look, which I quite like. So I will link these ones, but I think the Etsy ones would probably be a better purchase overall, although I don't have them, but I think they have the look. So I just wanted to quickly mention that. But before we move on, I'm going to just show you another couple of blazer alternatives. If you're not able to get hold of this suit, some options that might be easier to get. So this blazer here, which I absolutely love, is from a brand called Shop Everyday Elegance. They're on Instagram. I will link the blazer. I'm sure it's still available at the minute. So this, you know, it's very similar in style. The difference being it doesn't have the trim, but it also has the double-breasted aspect, which I think is nice. I like the double buttons going down. Yeah, so I think this is a really good option as well, and it's again like in the nice sort of cream colour, which is very Chanel. The other option is another very similar blazer from H&M, which again it was last year, but this one might be slightly easier to get rather than the trim one, because I know the trim one has been so popular. But if I do find this one it's vintage or anything, I will link it. But this was just to show you another couple of options. Okay, so moving into our second Chanel inspired look, I have this cord here, and this is from Madame Mayfair. You might recognise this if you watched my London Christmassy vlog, as I was wearing this cord in that video. So this is, as I said, from Madame Mayfair. It is a houndstooth cord. So this is the blazer here, and what we see again is the trim. So we've got this contrast, the white trim going round. I'm going to hold it in close just so you can see the buttons, because we've also got pearl. This skirt I'm just going to pull out, bear with me. So actually it is a skirt, which is quite handy. So I don't know if I mentioned that in my last video, but it's ideal because it just gives you like that bit of security, but again it's got the bit of trimming. And houndstooth is definitely, it has that Chanel look to it. So houndstooth we see in Chanel bags, in Chanel blazers, Chanel coats. There's a brown houndstooth Chanel bag that just looks absolutely stunning. So this is definitely another way you can add that kind of Chanel look to your wardrobe. What I will say, another point that we've kind of seen with these first two outfits is that it's sticking to colour palettes. So when you think of Chanel, you don't tend to think of loud clashing colours. You think of very put together, specifically paired items. So we're sticking to neutral colours. So with the first look, we've got cream and black, and that is all that's going on really. The second look, it's kind of white and black. I'm not sure if it is cream, but you know what I mean. It's again the same kind of colour palette. It's not to say that there isn't any colour at all, because I will be doing a couple of looks in some pastel colours, but overall each look is sticking to certain colour palettes, and that it actually makes it easier because you're not having to introduce different colours, but it's just it's a way of continuing that classic and elegant feel. So I'm going to put this outfit on and then I will come back. Okay, so second look is on, and I forgot to mention that there's a little blouse that goes with this suit, so that's what's on underneath. And what I've done is just do a kind of tie at the minute. You could, if you wanted, I suppose, tuck it in if you weren't such a fan of having it like this. I quite like this. It makes it really over the top. But yeah, I think this is an outfit you can see. Again, it just has this Chanel look to it. And I think what we're seeing with the first two looks is this attention to detail in terms of everything is matching and slotting in. And that's what's perfect about coords, is that the hard work is kind of done for you. It's already a look, and I think again it's what you see throughout Chanel. So on the Chanel runways you do often see them wearing blazers or skirts that match, and these high street coords are just a perfect way of doing it and getting the look. And as I mentioned with the previous cord, what is perfect if you're not looking to go full on with the look, you could of course take the blazer off and maybe pair the skirt with the blouse. I actually wore in a recent reel where I just wore a pink satin blouse from Zara, and it wasn't maybe an automatic Chanel looking outfit, but it had elements of it. So the houndstooth and the tweed, it still had this classic and feminine feel to it, but it wasn't as maybe, you know, full on as the entire outfit. But even like a simple black polo neck I think would look really cute with just the skirt, or alternatively the same with just the jacket at the top. You could maybe put on like a more plain skirt. So I think that is what's ideal about this aesthetic, is that you can take little snippets of it and then build it to the level that you want. I am aware that I'm kind of at the extreme end of it, but even things that I've mentioned, the pearls, the tweed, the houndstooth, you know, you could actually just have a completely black outfit and one element of houndstooth, maybe like a houndstooth headband I think would look really cute, or a houndstooth purse or something, and that would just add that touch of Chanel. So for my third look, I'm going for one that is slightly less matchy and is kind of along the lines of that TikToker reel that was really popular earlier last year I think it was, and it was like how to get the 90s Chanel model look, and it was basically like a crop top with a black skirt. So what I have is this little cardigan from Oasis, which I bought around about Black Friday. I'm going to link it if it's still available. It's been one of these items that's going in and out of stock, but they have been restocking it, whether it's returns or new stock, I'm not sure, but I will link it because this is just so perfectly Chanel. It is very similar to the first blazer, but what I like about this is that it's less structured and it's slightly more, I feel like this is slightly easier to wear, whereas the blazer is a little bit more formal. So what I'm going to do with this is just pair a simple black skirt, maybe just some plain black tights, I think, like some nearly black tights, and then I've got a pair of shoes to show you which I think will go, but I don't know, it might be too much, but so this is the third look. Okay, so here we are, look number 4 is on. This cardigan, I have to say, is probably one of my favourite ever pieces. I am in love with it. I just think it's got the look. So I'll just come in a wee bit closer to show you some of the detailing. Again, we've got the buttons with a little bit of pearl. I love the fact you have the wee pockets with the trim. It really is, it's just a very Chanel inspired piece, and you've got it on the cuff as well, which I just think is so cute. So this is from Oasis. I'm going to link it, as I said, if it is still available. I hope that it will be. They do also have it in a navy and kind of tan colour, which was still very cute. This definitely has the more of the Chanel aesthetic, but I actually really like the other one as well. So I have popped on the shoes, which I'm going to show you. I think, to be honest, this look probably does go better with just a plain black shoe, but I wanted to show you these shoes because they are very Chanel inspired, as you can see. So once again, we have the houndstooth, but we also have this contrast toe. So this is such a Chanel iconic look. So any two-tone shoe. So June have been amazing with their range of Chanel inspired shoes. So this shoe is called the Croft. It comes in so many different colours and styles. I've mentioned it in my Christmassy video. They also have like slightly different styles as well, like not this exact style, but very Chanel inspired. I know Zara has done ones in the past that are like a sort of court shoe with the two-tone, but basically anything with this like toe that is different is very Chanel inspired, and I just absolutely love the look of these shoes. So I wanted to mention those before we just move on. But this is look number 4. It is very Chanel 90s model kind of look, and I'm going to link a couple of other tops because Revolve have the most stunning pink one. I'll hopefully include a picture here and I'll link it. Hazel, yeah, is it Hazel? Is it Hazel? Oh, what is her name? From Selling Sunset wore it recently, and is it Hailey? I can't remember her name. That's annoying me because she's like my favourite. Ah, oh, sorry, that's annoying me. Hailey or Hazel? No, it's not Hazel. I'm gonna have to look that up. Heather, I'm sorry, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. She wore it in an episode recently, and I just, yeah. So I will link that because it definitely has this vibe all about it. So I'm going to move on to our 4th look now. Sorry if I called this one the 4th one. I've been getting a little bit mixed up. Sorry. So moving on to our 4th look. So if you are a pastel lover, you'll be pleased that I am bringing a little bit of pastel to the video now. So you might be surprised I also haven't really mentioned Zara yet. Zara is, I think, the #1 high street store for this kind of look. I actually think they have really tapped into it, knowing that there's people that want to get the Chanel look but cannot afford like literally £6,000 on a suit. So they are recreating season after season tweed cords, dresses that have this Chanel aesthetic. So this again here is one of my, like this in my wardrobe, this is one of my favourite ever looks. I'm honestly just so happy that Zara released it. So this is last season. It's one of those ones that I'm not sure if you would be able to get it on Depop or Vinted, but I will try and link any if I do find it. So it is a little pastel pink cord. So it's shorts and a little blazer. So this is the shorts here, and this is the blazer. So as you can see, we are back to this very, very put together matchy style, which, as I said, which is very typical of a Chanel look, is to have the full outfit is all pulled together and singing from the same hymn sheet. I don't know where that came from. So I'm going to pop this one on and I will come back, and then I'm going to add maybe some accessories to this to again bring in a little bit of extra Chanel touches. Okay, so moving into actual look number 4, this is the pink suit on together, and yeah, I just kind of lost for words with this one. I just love it. I think it ticks so many boxes. I feel so classy, so elegant, but also not as OTT. You know, the first look, don't get me wrong, I love it, but this, it feels a little bit more subtle, and I don't know whether it's just because the colour, maybe without the contrast. It's still very Chanel, but yeah, there's something that's just quite, I think this is a little bit more easy wearing. I know this is kind of a spring summery look, but hopefully we are kind of moving into that soon. And what I will say, if you did miss this look, I'm sure Zara is going to have amazing pastel pieces coming soon. I'm here for it. I will definitely do some updated videos once they start releasing more of their kind of spring collection. But Zara is definitely a place to look for this kind of look. So I'm going to just mention a little couple of things that you could add to this look if you wanted to bring just maybe more Chanel elements to it. So on the jewellery front, what I've got on is this Monica Vinader, I think that's how you say it. Is it Vinader or Vinader necklace? I actually do have a discount code for them, so I'm going to link that in the description box with the necklace. So I like this because it's quite simple, it's classic, it's just one kind of pearl here rather than, I do love a pearl necklace, but I actually find it quite difficult to wear because it automatically looks quite formal and quite mature as well, whereas I feel like this is quite fun but is still very elegant. And I've still got the Chanel earrings in, but I'm going to just show you another couple of pieces that I have from Chanel which I really think are great entry-level pieces into Chanel. As I said at the start, there's nothing that is actually from Chanel in this video. I don't have any Chanel bags or purses or anything, so I think the little bits of jewellery are definitely a way to get the look. So if you aren't sure that the earrings are something that you would want to go for, I can definitely recommend a Chanel brooch. So this is the one that I have. I'm going to just hold it in close here. So I have worn this pinned on this outfit, so you might not want to do the earrings, necklace and brooch, but I'll pop this on just so you can see it, because instantly, as soon as you add this to any tweed item, it just looks like it is Chanel. So that is it added. As I said, you might not want to do both, you might prefer just something a little bit more simple up here so that it's not completely bare, but I just love that look. I really would recommend the brooch as just something to add to your wardrobe. You can literally pin it to anything and it just elevates the outfit. So a plain black coat, Chanel brooch, even like a black jumper, a blazer, a dress. And I've seen actually a lot of people do different things with it. I haven't worn it myself, but I have actually tried to pin it right up here on a blouse, which it does look so chic. I've just not quite nailed it yet myself, but I would definitely recommend a Chanel brooch as one way of really bringing in that touch to an outfit. I'm going to also just show you the other pair of Chanel earrings that I have. So it is the little Chanel stud. So I'm going to just bring it in close. Hopefully it will focus and you'll be able to see them. Sorry, the camera's struggling with that a little bit, but hopefully you get an idea of the earring. I do also have a video where I unboxed both the pairs of earrings and tried them on, so I'm going to link that up here if you fancied watching it. But I think these are definitely a slightly more subtle, more, I don't want to say everyday, I actually think I said that in that video, everyday Chanel, whereas these ones, yeah, I get they're more of a statement, but if you wanted something that's slightly more subtle, you could go for these little studs. And again, if you look closely at them, you can see it's jewels, but also pearl as well. So pearl is definitely one of the features of the Chanel style. Another quick jewellery piece that I just wanted to show you was this necklace here. So let me just come in and see if I can get this to focus. So this is designed by Drop Some Sparkle on Instagram and it's from Foxford Jewellery. I absolutely love this necklace because although it doesn't necessarily look like a Chanel piece, you have some elements like little pearls around the heart, and I just think it looks so stunning with this suit. It's actually really giving me like Elle Woods vibes, and I will say Elle Woods is someone that you could look for some like pastel Chanel inspo, because some of her looks definitely have the Chanel feel. And I'm sure, I mean, I think she is literally wearing a Chanel necklace in some of the scenes. In fact, she definitely is. There's a pearl one she wears that's absolutely stunning, and then another one with a like little pink C on it. So Elle Woods is someone if you wanted to look for like pink and pastel Chanel looks. But to finish off this look, I just wanted to mention another Chanel style staple, which is quilting. So we see this most prominently on their handbags, but you can also see it sometimes on shoes and probably some other items. But I wanted to show you this bag here, which I was so lucky to receive from my best friend as a birthday gift. I haven't mentioned it on this channel yet, but you can really see that it has the Chanel kind of look to it. So it is from Valentino and it's pale pink and quilted. It is absolutely stunning, and I just feel like carrying it with this outfit really has the kind of Chanel feel to it. So yes, anything with this quilted look definitely is going to bring that touch of Chanel. And the good news is this style of bag is so popular so that it is actually quite easy to find different styles, colours at different budgets throughout the high street and other designers as well. So I think that is me moving into the final look. I'm sorry if this video has been a bit all over the place. I'm going to move into my last Chanel look, and I will round up the video with any points before we finish. So I'm sticking with pink for the last look of this video, which is the main point is this blazer here, again from Zara. This, I think it might still be available in the sale. If it is, I will link it. They also do a cream version, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I suppose somewhat similar to the first blazer from H&M, just with this style of collar instead of being a round neck. So I'll come in closer just to show you some of the details of this blazer. So what we're seeing here again is this two-tone, the contrast. It's tweed, it's also pastel. It really is ticking a lot of the Chanel boxes. What I do quite like about this one is the style of it, I feel is quite modern. It's a little bit different. It's not the sort of boxy shorter jacket, it's a little bit longer. Personally, I do sometimes struggle to style these longer blazers because they don't go as well with skirts, but I think this blazer, yeah, it's just so gorgeous. I absolutely loved it and obviously had to have it. So today what I'm going to pair it with is another black skirt, but I actually think this would look so chic with maybe like a really nice pair of black leggings and black knee-high boots. Or in the summer, I'm quite hopeful that I'll be able to wear it with white jeans or something like that. But I will style it today and put it on and we'll see what we think. Just before I put it on, this is the skirt that I have in mind to wear with this blazer. So I'm going to bring it in because you can see it has cute kind of pearl and diamond detailings on it, and it is tweed as well. I've had this for years now. I think it's also from Madame Mayfair, so if there is a link for it I will add it. But yeah, so I'm going to come back with this look put together. So here is our final Chanel inspired look. I've got the blazer on, and what I've popped underneath is just like a black simple roll neck, which I think for this time of year is kind of the way I would normally wear it. I think in summer, yeah, you can definitely wear just maybe something a little bit lighter underneath. I think what I like about this look is that it's still definitely Chanel inspired, but it does feel slightly more maybe edgy and definitely more, I think, modern rather than the first, definitely the first look had a real classic kind of vintage feel to it, whereas this is definitely a little bit more modern, I would say. I think it's probably because of the kind of tuxedo style neckline, it's making it less feminine, it's slightly more angular. So I'll come in close just to see what we've got, because I've also just kept on this little pearl necklace, which I think is nice, this little touch in the middle. I've got the Chanel earrings on, and yeah, this little skirt with the pearls. So you do definitely have some feminine touches to it, and also the pink colour does still keep it quite soft overall. But once again, you can see that we have stuck with literally black and pink throughout the whole look are the only two colours. So what I thought I would just do to kind of round up the video is go through the points that I've mentioned, give an overview, and you can pick and choose what aspects you would like to add into your style, or you can even build on the Chanel look. And I think that's one way to think of it, is you might not necessarily want to add literally every single individual feature into a look, because it probably would look a bit too much, but you can certainly add like elements of it and then just build on it, as I said. So just to recap, anything with a contrast trim like this is automatically going to have that Chanel look. Anything with pearl on it, like this necklace, or indeed the Chanel earrings themselves. I will also just show you the pearl necklace that I have here, which I will be honest, sometimes I struggle to wear it because I just feel that it can be a little bit too much. I'm going to pop it on with this look just to see what we think. Actually, I feel like because this blazer has a kind of stronger structure, it might carry off the pearls. Let me know what you think, but definitely a pearl necklace will add that touch of Chanel, but I do get that sometimes it can feel just a little bit too much in that direction. So in terms of shoes and bags, anything with two-tone or indeed the contrast is going to give you that Chanel look. The same with quilting, anything which has this sort of style to it. and try to keep your looks all in the same colour palette. So either maybe just pick 2 colours and stick with it, or go very neutral. Either way, you want to try and keep each outfit with the same tones, or at least just the same 2 colours, and that will help make it look just really put together. And that goes for the cord, so anything that is tweed, boucle, but also that has like a matching skirt and a blazer. It's very Chanel. I'm just trying to think if I have forgotten to mention anything, but I do think I've gone through most of what I intended to in this video. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought of the outfits. Let me know if you had anything to add, any other Chanel features, leave them in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up, and if you fancied subscribing, that would be fabulous. Let me know if you'd like a part 2 to this video or any other Chanel inspired videos. But I will see you next Thursday at 7 o'clock. Thanks again. Bye!